After hours of farming for gold, players want a place where they can spend it on shiny new items, consumables, and more. Hiro's economy system provides everything you need to create a virtual store, including buying items with in-game currency, as well as making in-app purchases. In this video, you'll learn how to implement a virtual store using Hiro's economy system, and then see it in action with one of our free-to-download sample projects. A virtual store is how players browse and purchase currencies and items inside of your game. Hiro takes care of many frequent actions such as fetching the catalogue of store items, organising to categories, and surfacing featured or promotional items, validating purchases, and removing currency from players' accounts, server-side validation of in-app purchases to protect against fake receipts and other types of fraud, and reward distribution for what the player receives after a purchase, including items, currencies, loot box-style drops, and more. It's entirely up to you to configure your game's virtual store however you want, but with Hiro, you'll have all the tools necessary to make it become one of the most engaging parts of your game. Let's say you want to build a virtual store from scratch. On the surface, it sounds manageable. A list of items, some prices, a purchase button, but the problems start piling up fast. Duplication exploits and transaction fraud, weighted drops, receipt validation, plus hundreds of other scenarios you won't anticipate until you run into them, and that's just version 1. Adding a virtual store into your game isn't just about asking, how long does it take to build this? It's also, how difficult is it to maintain? How risky is each change? And how stressful is it for your development and live ops team? I think it's safe to say that most developers would rather spend their time making the game than worrying about all of these edge cases. Hiro was created as an answer to these questions. Hiro is a plugin for Nakama that handles all of the metagame systems that studios need to run their live service games. We're talking things like economies and in-app purchases, teams with shared progression, achievements, inventories, event leaderboards, and more. With Hiro, you're saving yourself the time and hassle of developing and maintaining these features by using trusted, scalable, and battle-tested backend tools. To help showcase a virtual store and many other Hiro and Nakama systems, we've been creating a bunch of sample projects that are now available over on our GitHub and on our Unity Asset Store page. The links are down below. If you want to follow along with this project, go ahead and clone the repo or download it as a zip and then head over to the Unity Hub. Once the hub's open, you'll see here we used Unity 6.2 to create these projects. And then we can go over to the Projects tab, and you can hit Add, and add a project from disk. And then in this case, we're selecting the Unity Hiro Store project. Then you can click it and open it inside of Unity. So once you open the project for the first time, this is what you'll see. Now, all we need to do to start playing around with it is to hit play. We can also maximize the game view to see this a bit easier. So this is connected to a live server we've deployed on Heroic Cloud. And as you can see here, we have some currencies available for purchase in the shop, and we have a separate tab for buying items. And so for example, I can select this iron sword for 1,000 coins, click it, and purchase. And when I do purchase this, you'll notice the cost of 1,000 coins will be deducted from my coins up at the top right. So I'm going to purchase, that's deducted, and now I've received this iron sword, and that will be inside of my inventory. Likewise, if I hit continue here and go back to the currency tab, you'll see here I could go buy some currency. So let's buy for 5,000 gems, I'll buy 5,000 coins. So have a look up at the currencies when I hit purchase. You'll see the addition of coins and the removal of the gems. We can also specify specific store items as being special, such as a sale item that shows up separately on the side over here. So I can buy over here 8,000 gems for 2,500 coins. And so far I've shown you simple purchases where you buy one thing for another, but if we go over to items, you can actually buy a loot box. So this loot box has multiple different options for what can come out of it. So if I was to click this and purchase, you'll see I received some coins. But if I purchase again, I got coins again, but a different amount. And I can keep purchasing and getting different items. So there's varying amounts of coins, and eventually I should hit something else. So here I received a loot box itself, and we can also receive other items like this. Feel free to keep playing around with the sample project if you wish, but once you're done, you can hit stop. And if we were to head over to the GitHub over here and look at the Nakama plus Hiro folder and go into definitions, and then definitions for the store. So that would be inside of economy. You'll see here where we define all of the store items. where you define the name, description, the category, but also the cost, so what it costs to purchase the item. In this case, we're specifying currencies, coins 2,500. And then you define the reward. So in this case, there is a guaranteed reward of 8,000 gems. But if we go down, you'll be able to see some other rewards where the rewards are not a guaranteed fixed amount. So if we go all the way down to over here, you'll see for the loot box, we have weighted rewards. So you'll see here there's a range of coins you can get. You can get the golden key, you can get the evil eye, and so on. So if you want to see how the rest of it's configured, have a look through this JSON file. But the next thing we're going to do is to go and have a look at the code itself. I'm going to head back to Unity, go into the scripts folder, and open up the Hiro store coordinator. So here we are inside of the code. Now this is the Hiro coordinator. This is the entry point of the application. And you'll see here at the top, we define some credentials. These are the credentials used to connect to our live server deployed over on Heroic Cloud. This is how, when you hit play, the server immediately works and we actually have a backend our game is connected to. And if you want to know how to run your own server locally, then you can check out the links below over to our documentation. As for what we're actually doing inside of this script, if we scroll down here to create systems async, we will register the Hiro systems used in this project. So the only system we'll actually be interacting with directly here is the economy system. And on the back end, the server will also be using the inventory system because some of the store items we can purchase will actually add items to the player's inventory. So that does actually need to be initialized there. And then if we scroll down here, you'll see we have the Nakama authorizer function. This is how you can define the logic behind authenticating your player's account, but that's not too important for this particular sample. And if we go all the way right to the bottom, we invoke an event here once these systems have initialized. And it's this event which triggers all of our UI to begin rendering everything. So the next script we're going to look at over here is the store view behavior. So you'll see inside of the script, we have a reference to both the view and also the controller for our UI and its logic. So inside of here, all we actually are doing is listening for when the coordinator has told us that it started successfully. And then once it has started successfully, we can get access to the Nakama and the economy systems from Hiro, and we can initialize both our controller and our view. Now, since the view is just the UI, that's entirely up to you how you configure your game's UI, so we're going to focus on the controller and head into the store controller. And then inside of here, we're going to focus on the operations that you might take in your game and show you how easy it is to do with Hiro. So for example, if we open up the region store operations, you'll see here how we refresh the store. So we can do that whenever the player goes to the store to make sure it's populated correctly. And then if we go down here for get items for category, since we have two tabs, one to show currencies in the store and one to show items, this is how we can filter for those two. And then if you want to know how to actually purchase an item, we'll go down here to the next region for purchase operations. And you'll see here we can purchase an item async. And you'll see it's very simple. We have the item the player is trying to purchase. We make sure it's not null. And then we just call await economy system.purchase store item async, passing in the ID of the item you wish to purchase. And then once this is done, you'll get back the result, and this can be used to show on the UI the little pop-up that says you've successfully purchased this item. And then we also have a function here for can afford item. Keep in mind that the server will not let you purchase an item you can't afford, but if the client does the check too, that way you can display on the UI, maybe the item is grayed out or disabled entirely. And that's about it for the important methods. Since Hiro handles all of the heavy lifting for you, you just need to be able to render your items, and then when a player tries to purchase, just call the purchase function, and that's about it. And then everything else is handled by the configuration on the server side through that JSON file, so be sure to have a look fully how that works, and also have a look in our documentation for the virtual store, and that's where we show you every property you can possibly configure on all of your items. Hiro's economy system makes it quick and easy to implement a virtual store into your game and start creating a huge catalog of items for players to save up for. With Hiro, you get battle-tested systems that handle the hardest parts of metagame design, freeing up your team to focus on the thing they care most about, finding fun. Try the sample project yourself by downloading it from GitHub. We've included the links below. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you around.